Hello everyone, my name is Chloe and today I am here with a brand new video. Welcome to Brunette Bibliophile, where I post bookish videos and writing content. Today I'm here with a super fun video idea. Today I am celebrating the release of Speak Now, Taylor's Version, which comes out on July 7th. I'm posting this the day after it's out, but this is filmed a little bit earlier. I have most of my Taylor CDs up here. I have my Lover House that's holding my friendship bracelets from the Eras Tour. I'm wearing my Reputation Stadium Tour shirt because my Eras Tour one has not come in yet. I am so excited that Speak Now is going to be out in the world, and today I have decided to pair books to each of Taylor's eras. I am sure that this is not a new concept, but I just wanted to do something fun to celebrate the release of Speak Now. And I thought this would be a cute way to mix Taylor Swift and books. I guess you can also kind of think of this as a recommendations video, but I just wanted to match the vibe of the book with the vibe of the Taylor era. So let's just go ahead and get started. So the first era is her debut era, which was her self-titled album. And I decided for this era, I'm going to match it with Georgie All Along by Kate Clayborn. This is a book that I recently read, and a lot of this book is surrounding finding who you are outside of your work, outside of your friend group, who you are authentically. At least that's what I got from this book. And I think a lot of early Taylor albums are about finding who she is, because her debut album came out when she was 16. And that's still relatively young. And granted, while our main character here is, I think, in her 30s, it's still something that even adults are trying to figure out who they are. But it's really prevalent when you're in high school. Moving into her Fearless era, Taylor's version, of course, I paired this with a book that I read recently. Fearless also has those high school vibes as well, specifically with You Belong With Me, and I am thinking of that music video as I'm trying to explain this. So with this one, I went with Imogen Obviously by Becky Albertalli, which I just recently read, and this one is young adult, headed into college, so our main character is still a senior, but she is going to be starting college the next year. And this is also very much a finding yourself book, because our main character, Imogen, does have a lot of confusion on what her identity is as she's navigating the world of being an ally to LGBT plus people. I also just highly recommend this book in general. I do think it is one of Becky Albertalli's newer releases that is fantastic, especially after Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda had such a huge fandom behind it. So for Speak Now, I have two recommendations or books to pair with this album. And as I was trying to pick these books and get the vibes, I was thinking about all the different songs that are on Speak Now, and this is before even we reach the vault tracks that haven't been heard yet. So I kind of have two different vibes going with this one. The first one that I have is One Day in December by Josie Silver. This is following a couple who meet at various occasions throughout many, many years after they glimpse each other at a bus stop. And the tagline is 2 people, 10 chances, 1 unforgettable love story. I'm sure you know exactly what song I was thinking about with this book. And then the other book that I picked up almost has the complete opposite of One Day in December, and that is Happy Place by Emily Henry. With this one, I was picking up vibes of Speak Now, of Mine, Sparks Fly, Enchanted, like so many different vibes with this book. This one is a fake dating trope, but for a good reason. I know a lot of people don't like the fake dating trope, but if there is like a perfectly good reason, it definitely is with this book. I don't know how to explain it. These are two completely different vibes, but like I'm getting the Back to December, like cold wintry vibes, and then like the Speak Now summer vibes here. Does anybody follow this like I do? Red, Taylor's version. Definitely a Sad Girl Autumn album, especially with its re-release as the Taylor's version. This was the autumn album of 2021. It still is, but this was the album. So for this vibe, I definitely went very books that I would read in autumn. Autumn feelings, cozy. And I have two. The first one is The Ex-Hex by Erin Sterling. This is the first book in a series of witchy romances. Definitely a Halloween vibe, definitely a fall vibe. This is just definitely a title that I think of when I think of autumn. And the other one that I picked, kind of still in the autumn vibe, kind of Halloween vibe, but it is Angelica Frankenstein Makes Her Match by Sally Thorne. Another very autumn dark vibe, which Red is not necessarily a dark album, but it definitely has the cozy autumn vibes. And I think that these two books are something that you could definitely get from the autumn vibe. Does this make sense? This one is definitely, on top of being like definitely a fall read, it's weird too. Weird in a I gave it 5 stars kind of way for a romance. 1989. This is the album of New York. That's the best way I could explain this. Welcome to New York, the love vibes, style, new romantics, how to get the girl. So many different love songs, but also New York. For this one, I'm going with What If It's Us by Adam Silvera and Becky Albertalli. We're following Arthur, who's in New York for the summer and is doing an internship. And then we're following Ben, who lives in New York and is at the post office dropping off a box of his ex-boyfriend's things, and they have a meet cute at the post office. This book also has a lot of touristy things that Arthur wants to do since he only has this one summer in New York, and there's a lot of talk of like Hamilton on Broadway. And this book also has a sequel, Here's to Us, that kind of has similar vibes. So for the Reputation album, I definitely wanted to pick something that was kind of dark, but not necessarily super dark. And I ended up going with Renegades by Marissa Meyer. This is a book about superheroes and villains. We have the renegades and the anarchists. And we're following Nova, who has to masquerade as a renegade in order to enact her revenge because she's truly an anarchist. If that doesn't scream like Reputation, like she has a reputation to uphold as an anarchist amongst the renegades who do have reputations to uphold as superheroes, I didn't have another pick for this one. Moving into the lover era, I have 2 different books that kind of give really happy vibes for me, or things that I definitely love to read when I need something really light. So the first one is any Casey West book, but I just happened to pick up Sunkissed by Casey West. Casey West writes YA contemporary, slice of life, fluffy romances. They are something that you read and forget about. Except for Sunkissed. Sunkissed really stuck with me. Read it and forget about it. It gives you the happy, palate cleansing romance vibes. So in addition to Sunkissed, I also have The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood, because that also gives me such happy vibes. The grumpy sunshine trope is top tier for me. A lot of people say that Ali Hazelwood recycles the same things over and over again. This is Reylo fanfiction. Yes, it is, and I love it. And that's okay. I actually just recently reread The Love Hypothesis, and I had such a good time getting all those same vibes and memories that I did from the first time that I read it, that this is definitely lover era for me. So I'm actually going to put the Folklore and Evermore era into one, which might be scandalous, but it's fine. These albums give me such cozy, woodsy vibes that I think everybody gets from them, especially based off of the music videos as well, that I went with Among the Beasts and Briars by Ashley Poston as something that is very cozy and woodsy and fantasy. I haven't read any cottagecore books before, but I bet cottagecore fantasy or cozy fantasy would totally fit into this era as well. But this is something that I remember reading over the past couple of years that definitely has those vibes. Even just with this cover alone, gives me those cozy, woodsy vibes. And finally, in the final era, Midnights. This was such a hard one for me to figure out. Midnights has been a wild ride. We got love songs, but we also got sad songs, and I didn't know what to go with this one. So I picked 2 books that both have love vibes and also sad vibes. The first one is one that I just recently reread as well, and it is One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is a story of losing a love and starting anew. Emma marries her high school sweetheart in her 20s, and on their first wedding anniversary, her husband's helicopter goes missing over the Pacific and he is presumed dead. So it's a story of trying to move on and restart your life. And she reconnects with a friend from high school, and they end up getting engaged when her husband is found. this is a roller coaster of emotions with this book. I also just watched the movie recently. There is a movie adaptation, and I think that was done really well too. So this kind of has both of the sad vibes and the happy vibes. And then I also went with the Happy Ever After playlist by Abby Jimenez. This is following Sloane, who 2 years after losing her husband in a motorcycle accident, needs to get her life back on track. She finds a dog and ends up bringing them home, and the owner goes weeks with unanswered texts. And then when the dog's owner reaches out, it turns out he is a musician who is on tour, and she helps watch him for the remainder of the tour, and their texts turn into long phone calls, and she definitely has a connection with him. This is heartbreaking in the sense of it kind of bleeds into stuff that happened in The Friend Zone, which was the book that came before this, and you get it's a sad beginning, especially if you come off just from reading The Friend Zone, you come right off of that. It's a sad beginning, but there's hope. And it's another one of those getting your life back on track storylines. So that was me trying to match books to the vibe of every single Taylor Swift era. This has been a ride, and I'm not sure if I articulated everything correctly as I wanted to, but you know what? It is okay. So I am so excited to listen to Speak Now as it comes out, and we're just gonna have Speak Now summer. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it. Down below in the comments below, let me know what your favorite Taylor Swift era is and or your favorite song. And that is all I have for you all today. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it. As always, if you like what you see here, please go ahead and click subscribe. I post new videos every week, so click subscribe so you can be updated for when I post those. Thank you all so much. I'll see you in my next one. Bye!
In the darkness, I don't feel so cold. The ashes fall like rain, and somehow we're okay. A story drifts between shadows and smoke.